flag for being branded as criminals while they claim they're saints. Welcome, welcome. Come on board. Turn my little mic on here. Branded as criminals. You're branded as criminals. We all are, for the most part. And they're saints. Imagine how that works out for them. Welcome, welcome. Come on board this morning. We're going to talk about how the people in power, the elite class, the ruling class, brand you. We're all branded as crooks, criminals, thugs, because we're not in power or less affluent. While these people in power brand themselves as saints, credible, reliable, you can trust them. They're people in power in the government. You can put your lives in their hands and the lives of your children, and they murder you. That's what's going on. Now, I'm just speaking the truth, so I want to scare you into the truth, because the truth is scary. So in January 29th, 2025, if you want to talk about reality, and I do, I'll tell you reality, it's scary. You ought to be scared. You got to be scared enough to get up and vote. So in the Potomac River, 67 bodies lay there. January 29th, 2025. A lot of people forgotten about it. A Black Hawk helicopter hit a passenger airplane. 67 souls dead. Their souls aren't dead, they were dead, including over a dozen children ice skaters, their whole life ahead of them. Put their lives in the hands of people in government power that brand themselves good, competent, reliable people. Yeah, that's the truth. I know it's scary, but unless you face the truth, then stuff like that's going to keep happening. Let's see if y'all can hear me. How many people we got in here? Just a few. So yeah, Potomac River, they want you to forget. I haven't forgotten. January 29th, 2025, a little over a year ago, 67 people put their hands in the trust of the government. They brand themselves and they label themselves as good, honorable, reliable people. This is people in charge of the government, people in charge of your safety. They brand themselves, label, hey, we're good, we protect you. We're saints. We're protection for people. The Tennessee Highway Patrol brands themselves as guardians of the road. Are they? I mean, that's what they tell you. They're in power. They got all forms of messaging. I've got a few forms of messaging. This is just one of them. And they brand me and you criminal thugs, criminals and thugs, and people worthless and sheep that need to be taken care of. They brand us. Branding is a phenomenon where they try to put a label on you and try to destroy your credibility, try to destroy you, where when people see you, when you walk in a room, that's what they automatically think of, is people in powers lie about you. So anything you say or do, they look at that label and discredit you, and they walk in the room, and their credibility, their label, their brand is one of people in government power that's honest, that's saints, and they're out to protect you. And they tell you that in every day, in every way, and then you end up in an airplane hit by a Black Hawk helicopter, a military helicopter, in the Potomac River. Children, men, women, children. 67 people died in that crash that put their hands in the hands of saints. That's what they are. They trusted them. The report from the FAA reported systemic failures by these saints. I mean, it wasn't just one thing. It was the whole system needs to be revamped, remade, redone. And that's what I'm telling you. The whole system of government in Tennessee needs to be redone, revamped to put it back to the Constitution. Because they don't honor the Constitution. They tell you they do. They brand themselves as people that are Constitution honoring, your rights honoring, faithful, just, honest people, sainthood. And when they walk in the room, that brand is there and everybody believes them. Till you end up in a river, dead, men, women, and children. They killed men, women, and children. Worse than Josie Wells. They acted like they were honest people. And they're not. And they brand the public, you and your family, put a brand on you, walk in a room, and nobody listens to a damn word you say because of the branding. Let's not accept that. Martin Luther King didn't accept that. While he was in jail, he wrote a letter that didn't accept their brand. They branded him a criminal. Now he's a hero, an icon in the civil rights movement, and justly should be. Now, a lot of people don't like him. I think very highly of the man. No one's perfect, but the things he did for people and in what they branded as freedom that wasn't really is really great. So those people that died in the Potomac River, even adults with their children there, put their hands in the hands of the government that brand themselves capable of protecting you. That was well known at the time. They knew that it wasn't safe to fly. But the brand was, yeah, go get on that airplane, ask no questions, fly. And they got on the airplane, and they were not told. The parents of those children were not told, hey, you're getting on this airplane, where they're going to land in the international airport in Washington. They don't have enough air traffic controllers. So one air traffic controller is doing the job of two people, because we have people in Washington that are sitting in offices that aren't doing anything, and we got to pay the people that aren't doing anything. We got to pay our legislators, and we got to pay people that don't do nothing to spend time branding. Other people spend time branding themselves. They're even lazy. They don't even brand themselves. Other people spend their time branding us as great, safe people capable of running the government. So they didn't tell those passengers when they got on board the plane, because the brand was there. It's the government. They're safe. Hey, we don't have enough people working at the airport. We're responsible for your safety, but we're cutting out the budget when it comes to your safety because we don't give a damn about you. And they might as well ask him before they got on the plane, who'd you vote for? Oh, you voted for me, don't get on this plane, it may not be safe. Or, oh, you voted for them, get on the plane, get on the plane. Yeah, because they damn well knew that it wasn't safe to fly. Systemic failures over that airport that had near misses before. And this is current and relevant. 67 people died a little over a year ago, and also just the other day on the national news. They have reported that the near misses in our airline industry are hugely underreported. So you hear about the near misses on the news every now and then. Did you know you don't hear about but only a small fraction of the near misses? And the government is complete authority of the airline industry and safety. They have complete control of it. There's nobody up there telling them when to fly, what time to fly, staffing civilians and staffing the airport authorities to be able to provide for your safety. The government's in control of that. And they've admitted it's a systemic failure. 67 bodies that asked no questions. They weren't even told lies because they asked no questions. It's not their fault. The government's fault. They branded themselves as capable of providing for safety when they knew, they had information to know it wasn't safe. They had near misses before at that very airport. A Black Hawk helicopter slammed right into a passenger airplane with young children that were ice skaters, killed their parents, their trainers. And when they got on that airplane to fly to Washington, D.C., no one told them, hey, and I know it doesn't work this way, but it should. It should. That at the airport, you're getting on an airplane, it's going to land at an airport, and we, the government, haven't staffed it appropriately. We got one person, an air traffic controller, doing two jobs because we don't want to pay out the money and we're not capable of doing our job. We brand ourselves as we are, but I'm telling you, for your own safety, now it's your choice if you get on that airplane or not, having this, being privy to this information. But no one told them that. The brand's there. The government's good. Get on the plane. Everybody's smiling. And then they end up getting hit by the military helicopter. Understaffed. Now comes out systemic failures. The whole system was bad. The whole government was bad, is what they're saying. The brand didn't hold up when it hit a Black Hawk helicopter, did it? So let's get across the road here. The brand didn't hold up. Horrific. That's your government that brands themselves. We're safe people. We can guard you. We can protect you. These are your elected officials that run the government. Run the government in Tennessee. You don't have a choice. You just believe what they say. Hey, they provide for public safety. They provide for road safety. That's what the main function of the government, safety. And there's systemic failures, but they brand themselves as good. Look at Bucksnort, Tennessee. People died in Bucksnort, Tennessee. 16 people dead. Where's the Safety Administration? OSHA, Occupational Health and Safety Administration. They knew. They'd cited them before. They branded themselves as good while they're pocketing money from them. So what I'm telling you is not hyperbole. It's not conspiracy. You can count the bodies. 67 in the Potomac River. Horrific. Got on a plane trusting the government that branded itself trustworthy. Weren't told. They should have been told. Hey, you're going to an airport and there's only one air traffic controller on board. Now it's up to you. They weren't giving that information. They're giving the information the government's branded good and safe. They weren't giving the truthful information. We haven't appropriated the budget fairly. We're overpaying some people, and the people that keep you safe, we ain't got enough money to fully fund that, so people won't work unless they're paid. So your safety's at risk. Get on the airplane at your own risk. Don't believe the brand. And that's what I'm saying today. Get on the airplane at your own risk. Don't believe the brand, because people in power all over the United States, people in power. Now, I do believe, to a large extent, the Trump administration is doing a hell of a lot better. Those systemic problems were created before he got in office. But a lot of people are give him bad information. But you can't trust the brand of the government. A brand is like what Nike has. Everybody knows Nike shoes. You can trust them, they're good. You see the check mark. Just Do It. Their logo, which came from apparently I've heard from a man on his deathbed in the execution chamber. They asked him if he had any last words, and that's where Nike apparently got its logo, as I understand. Just Do It. And it's a brand is how businesses sell themselves. You don't have to taste the food. You don't have to wear the shoes. You see the brand and know that they're good, that's worth the money that you pay for it. It's a label, it's branding, and they label the government, people in power, good and honest and trustworthy. Don't ask no questions. You see the label, hey, get on the plane, drive down the roads, it's safe. You don't have to worry. Bill Lee, the Christian brand, is in the governor's mansion, and everything's safe and everything's all right. But I'm here to tell you, for your own safety, I'm sending the alarm. I'm your messenger warning you. No, it's not. Systemic failures. Don't trust the government at all, for the most part. I ask questions. I ask questions. And, you know, if I'm on a plane, I'm going to say, hey, is everything all right? Is the pilot sober? The one that's supposed to be regulated by the government? Have there been accidents at the airport that are known? And is there a reason why I might not be able to land? And ask questions peacefully. Don't just trust the government. There's systemic failures. This is not a safe United States of America. It's not safe. You can't trust the government. They're not trustworthy. You'll end up dead and your children. Trust in the brand. The brand is government safety. People in government power. They're saints. And you and me are sometimes, when we sound the alarm, saying that they're not trustworthy, that we're criminals. So people don't listen to us. People don't listen to me. A lot of people evidently are coming to do that because I'm still putting out the truth. My job is to put the truth out, as dark as it is, because it will never get bright and safe until we point out the systemic failures ahead of time. It's too late after those 67 people are dead. They said there's systemic failures. They knew that there's systemic failures before people got on that plane, and they didn't even tell them, hey, get on this plane at your own risk. Here's what's going on. They trusted the brand, trusted the government, and the government didn't tell them, and they're not going to tell you. They want to maintain power. I'm telling you right now, you can't trust the people in power, specifically in the state of Tennessee. You can't trust the brand. They're not safe, honest people. They are sitting around on their glorified hind ends, praising themselves, using the government not to provide for public safety, understaffing our essential services, putting you at risk, sitting around, making government documents and bills, praising themselves, branding themselves as good, great people. That's what they're doing on your dime, on your time, while it's dangerous for you. Specifically in the state of Tennessee, under the brand they got going on now. Now, this is a red state, a red brand, according to them. And they believe in a good, honest day's work for an honest day's pay. They don't believe in socialism. And a lot of them believe in Christian values, vote red. Now, that's the brand, the red brand in Tennessee. I'm more Republican in the core values, and I'm warning you, than the Republicans are. They're not really Republicans. They're running on that brand while they're sitting around in your public offices, praising themselves, making bills that put their names out, giving them a brand. Hey, the government says the government is good. Naming their own names, and I'll show you some documents where they're branding themselves, while your roads are more dangerous than they were in decades. Well, they're branding themselves, and people that are in public safety, they're claiming that they're good people. I'll show you the bills that they're saying, hey, we want to commend this person for their honorable service to Tennesseans. And they are horrific as far as bodies. They're labeling themselves good, branding themselves good with our government dime, while people, you and your children, are at risk of being dead. And if you dare stand up and say anything about it, you are branded to protect them as a criminal, as a thug, as a liar, as not a good person, while you're the good person. It's called branding. It's in sociology, it's called labeling. But we don't have to go along with the label. There is a phenomenon called the self-fulfilling prophecy, where people label you as evil, as a criminal. You accept that label and accept their label. You're accepting a label if you consider yourself a criminal because somebody that's a criminal has labeled you a criminal. You're going along with two wrongs. You're not a criminal. I'm not a criminal. And the person that's labeling you a criminal is a criminal. They're the ones that are wrong, and it can be a self-fulfilling property in sociology, a self-fulfilling prophecy, a phenomenon that makes you accept that label and act in accordance with it. maybe be a little dishonest, a little deceitful, because after all, that's what everybody says you is, so why not fulfill what they say that you are? And you don't have to accept the label. And you don't have to accept the label they put on you, the brand they put on you, and you don't have to accept the brand and the labeling that they put on themselves. And I don't accept it. To my death, I'm not accepting it. The 67 people in the Potomac River accepted the brand of the glorified people in government power that are in sole control over your safety. Accepted the brand of the government and ended up dead. And I'm not accepting the brand of the government. And I'm putting out the message to one and all of y'all, don't accept the government's brand, that they're good, they're saints, they're wonderful people. Well, they're writing bills, and I'll show you how they praise each other to high heaven while the fatality rate climbs. And that's the warning today. We're going to give you names, dates, and times, and I just gave you a big one. January 29th, 2025, a airplane, passenger commercial airplane, ended up in the Potomac River, hit by the government, a Black Hawk helicopter, a failure of even military people by the government. They knew that their systems were a systemic failure when they sent the honorable pilot up in the air without proper equipment and proper training. They knew, they didn't care. It wasn't their life or one of their children's lives. It was a military person that they don't give a rat's ass about. They really don't. They say they do, and I believe our president does. That's one of the things they try to attack him on. If the government's attacking you about something, it's probably the exact opposite. And if they brag about something, it's probably the exact opposite. So they didn't tell people, hey, get on this plane at your own risk. That's what I'm telling you. It's systemic failures, bad in every way across the board, and I'm just the messenger. I'm putting out the message, and there's things we can do about it. There's things that we can do about it. Our government has fallen. It is not just non-existent, it exists, and it murders you. Murder can be completed with actual malice if they do it intentionally or if they have a reckless disregard for the truth. That means they know the truth, but they don't pay any attention to it. When they have warnings about stuff, direct known warnings, many of them, and they don't act on those warnings to protect the public. At minimum, tell those people, hey, we ain't budgeting right. Get on this plane at your own risk. I mean, that's the last thing they could do. Give people the option. That's what I'm doing. I'm giving the option because they're not correcting their systemic failures. They're not going to. They say they will, but they're not going to. They're absolutely not going to. So I'm giving you the last ditch effort to say, hey, when you put your life in the government's hands, in their courtrooms, in their public safety on the street, and you ignore anything that you can do to make yourself safe, you might end up literally in the Potomac River. You say, well, I'm in a car, how can I end up in the Potomac River? Well, they might guide you to the river. And I'm being sarcastic, but that's how bad it is. That's how bad it is. You put your hands in their safety net that's not existent, that's not out there, that's against you for themselves. So let's see how many people got on here. Got a lot of good information to show you this morning. And we're talking about the sociological phenomenon of branding. How these people in power, the elite ruling class, although have systemic failures that murder you, are branding themselves good. And anybody that dares to speak up for public safety, to try to provide for information out there, the other side, or even if they just need a number for no other reason against you than they needed to solve a crime and they reached out in another state and grabbed you and they charge you, then they're going to brand you, put a brand on you, literally label you a criminal and try to make people think that's who you are and what you are. No matter what you do, you can't get out of the brand. Well, let's break out of the brand. We don't have to buy their brand. So let's see how many people got in here. Got a few. Thank y'all for joining me. Hope you can hear me. And the way we can beat these people is not with violence, it's with voting. Vote these people in government power, specifically in the state of Tennessee, out of office. And it's not going to be done in the primary. The primary is people that are already pre-selected, pre-branded by the government. All these people that are running the primary have a good brand. They're a party brand. The party's going to save everybody. Republican, and they're not Republicans in Tennessee, or the Democrats. And a lot of them are so far south that they want to dramatically change the country into where we're mutilating little children, changing their sex, and you're paying for it. So neither party that brand themselves good, that key in on specific things that the public wants to hear, so you'll vote for them in the primary. The primary is not going to stop the systemic failures. The real election is in November, when you have independents running and people that are not part of the brand. And some of the independents, they brand pretty damn good too. One of the independents that they name in the governor's race is having the best candidacy and the best qualifications, is being charged with fraud. That makes good sense. Politician being charged with fraud. The one that they praise being charged with a crime. So a lot of the people that they brand as good, even independents, are creeps and people that'll steal from you. And they're running for public office for their own benefit. They just got the lingo down. So branding is a sociological phenomenon that is very powerful. That's how people win elections. They have a brand. They sell themselves as a product. And the ideal in itself is not wrong. It is wrong when you provide a false brand. You say you're a jar of good peanut butter, and you got your brand and your signature and your logo on there, and people don't even think about the product inside, pick it up and take it, and it is salmonella peanut butter. Now that's the wrong brand. And that's what we have with these politicians. They brand themselves, hey, that's Republican. Go down, check the list, and they're not even really Republican. It's salmonella in the candidate. They branded themselves that so that you'll buy it. But they're not worthy of getting elected. Who they really are doesn't fit the brand. And it doesn't. Even Donald J. Trump has called the highest official in Tennessee a rhino, Republican in name only. So the brand doesn't fit. He's not a real Republican. That's the president saying, hey, he ran as Republican, but he's not. Doesn't fit the brand. I proclaim that he ran as a Christian conservative. Hello, we got some fans, but he doesn't fit the brand. Now, I don't know his heart. He may well be on his way to heaven. I know his actions are hellish for Tennesseans. Now, they brand me hellish, but he's the great high governor in power, and he's branded a godly Christian man. I don't know his heart. People that are Christian can do some pretty wicked things. Now, I think he's sold out to the billionaires. And a lot of these candidates that are branding themselves are not what they appear to be. I mean, you look at John Rose, and I don't care if you vote for me or not. I wish that you would, so that I can perpetrate this peaceful political attack, nonviolent, against people in power, to warn you, hey, the plane is going to get there, but they don't have enough air traffic controllers. I'm sending an alarm out. I'm telling you that your government is not set up right by the brand. Don't believe the brand. Now, a lot of people do. Go ahead, get on that plane if you want to. I'm not. If I do, I'm going to ask a hell of a lot of questions. I'm going to call the other airport maybe and ask them if they're fully staffed in the air traffic controller's office and not make any threats. But I'm going to provide for my own safety, because you can't trust the government right now. You cannot trust the government right now. I'm not dancing around that thing. Now, artificial intelligence won't let me say stuff like this, because artificial intelligence reads their brand. I don't read it. I'm on another playing field. I'm not playing by their games anymore. They don't work for me. They're full of lies. And anybody, even highly intelligent people, can get fooled, can get deceived, and end up in the Potomac or at work blown off the planet because of their branding. You can be deceived and fooled, even smart people. So I don't even listen to the brand. I open the bottle, I open the can and see what's inside. If it's all green, I'm not taking that. I'm asking questions, looking inside, and that's what you should do. They brand themselves. Don't pay attention to the brand. And then they brand me for telling people, hey, look what they're doing. These are the facts. Look inside the jar here. That's all I'm doing. If they claim it's different, they got a bigger speech platform than me. They can say, no, Charles Van Morgan rigged that up. That's not true what he said. There's not 67 people dead. Wow, a lot of things. There's not 67 people dead in the Potomac River. That's a lie. There we go. That's a dirty lie. And we're safe. We're the government. We're a brand. Trust us. Look at the inside of the peanut jar. That's not salmonella. I'm telling you. Look inside. Ask questions. The government has fallen, specifically, substantially, in the state of Tennessee. I mean, you look at John Rose, the brand. I'm a CEO. It's commercial all over the state. And here's what I want you to do. Let's pull this little, our game. We're going by our rules, our game. Now, I'm not saying violate any laws. I'm just saying look at the real picture from a different perspective. It's called reality. It doesn't take a lot to figure out. But if you listen to their bombardment of lies and their authority and their government bills that praise themselves, anybody could be deceived. I'm not criticizing the mass populace. I'm here to tell you, show you the scars that I've been through. So I know. And I've swam out of the river they tried to put me in. They're not putting me in the Potomac. I'm not getting on the plane now. I used to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm not drinking anymore. A better society where they go and keep you captive in their lies. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. What's in the damn Kool-Aid? And I'm sending the message. Sounding the alarm. That's my job. That's what I do. That's what I'm doing. And evidently it's catching hold. They hate me even worse. Let them hate me some more. They can change what they do. They can stop lying to people. They can turn themselves into the jailhouse right off their own warrant. They know what they're doing wrong. And if I wrote out what I did wrong when I was in government power, I'd do like them, give me awards, because that's what they did. They even admit that I did an excellent job. I can show you award after award after award, but I didn't do it for any of that. I did it for the reason I'm doing this now, is for your safety. To warn you. I warned more people than anybody in the whole state of Tennessee when I was on the road in government power, and they brand me a criminal while the fatality rate skyrockets on your Tennessee roadways. Just about less than a week ago, on this very road in Monday morning, on Broadway, a little further down, less than 3 miles from here, 2 pedestrians walking down the road. The government's safe. They have traffic enforcement. And it's not the officers. They're not allowed to do their jobs. And doing your job doesn't benefit you. Kissing the ring does. 2 pedestrians dead, walking on the sidewalk just like me. Safe world, safe Tennessee. Branded. We got great law enforcement, is what they brand. And we do, as far as a lot of the patrol officers. Great law enforcement. A lot of them know. A lot of them are glad what I'm doing. They hate this stuff too. Some of them have given me money to get that message out. I hope you succeed. I want you to get this done. It sickens me what's going on. A lot of them are. You just don't know that. They're afraid to stick their ugly head up And they have a beautiful head that are on my side, and a lot of them are. They're afraid to stick their beautiful head up and their beautiful knowledge because they'll get branded just like me and get terminated and destroyed. The government's in the business of branding themselves as saints, wonderful, safe. Even if people in the Potomac River die, they don't care. We got it fixed now. Get on a plane, it's safe. The roads, we got rid of van, get out in the car, it's safe. And they brand themselves as saints. Give themselves government awards in bills, in official documents. I'll show you. You think I'm kidding? They show you everybody that you're supposed to praise as a saint, even though they're dangerous as hell. They're dangerous as hell. They're murdering you while they're branding themselves good, using your government offices to do it. And I'm not tiptoeing around this. I'm telling you, people in government power, specifically in the state of Tennessee, judiciary, the law enforcement, all across the board, dangerous as hell. You ought to fear them. You ought to get up and go vote. I'm not tiptoeing around, I'm telling you they're dangerous. I'll tell you facts. Just a few days ago, and numerous ones. This is a recent one, so people can say, he's still complaining about something happened years ago. Yeah, because it's still going on. I'm still being branded. I'm not taking the brand. I could care less what they say. I'm not on their playing field. Doesn't affect me. I know the truth. The truth matters, has weight and value. And I'm about to tell you, just a few days ago, a law enforcement officer, duly certified and approved by Lionel Russell. Now, he's over the law enforcement commission. He's the one that allows people to have a commission. If they praise him, he praises himself. Just the other day, a deputy sheriff in Tennessee was charged with rape and tampering with evidence. And that's bad enough. On his own time, he raped somebody. No, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. Now, they brand law enforcement as good. I'm telling you, they're dangerous as hell. They're dangerous as hell to you. And that's the truth. I hate to say that. Not all of them are. But the ones that aren't, they're glad I'm out here. They want this change. They detest it themselves. They can't do anything about it. Well, they'll get branded. It won't work. But I'm just happen to be a fighter, and I'm not taking their brand. And I'm fighting back. So subscribe to the channel and help me fight back against these people. And I'll tell you how dangerous this state is. How dangerous the government is. And you have to obey them while they are raping you. Yeah, I said it. That's the truth. Fact. It's not. Maybe that'll happen. It did happen just the other day. A deputy sheriff stopped a woman in a traffic stop in a government car. A government car, and it's happened with the state too. And you have to stop. They turn the blue lights on. Our laws say you stop. But what if there's a rapist in the deputy sheriff's car approved by Lionel Russell and the government? You have to stop. For a rapist. That's a deputy sheriff approved by them. That's not the brand. The brand is they get rapists to protect you. The true brand is there are people in government power that have the power to stop you on your way to work, and they are rapists. That's true. They don't like me saying that. I'm branding them a rapist, and that's not defamation. That's the damn truth. So I'm not telling you not to stop. I'm just saying when you're stopped, specifically female, you know, if it's a suspicious circumstance late at night on a royal road off where nobody's at, you see blue lights behind you, and this is evidently what happened. This is not made up. I mean, I'm telling you what happened. I've checked the court records. Now, I can't get the actual warrant because they cover that up. Imagine that. They don't want you to see the real brand. They don't want me to get the real facts, not yet. And this happened. A deputy sheriff stopped a woman in a Royal County, turned on blue lights. She had to stop, didn't have a choice. Pulled her over. She had to pull over. The government's telling her to pull over. The government's good. You're supposed to pull over. You're doing something dangerous. And the deputy sheriff raped her. raped her. That happened in Tennessee. Now, you don't hear a lot about it. I'm telling you about it. It ought to be known. When you see the blue lights behind you, a rapist may be in the car. That's the truth. They don't like I'm dangerous. While the fatality rate goes up, they hire deputy sheriffs that will rape you, and you have to stop. So, a lot of people, women maybe, if you're out in a rural area, and you do whatever you want to do. I'm just sounding the alarm. Deputy sheriffs, some of them will rape you. They did just the other day. It took them. It happened last year, and we'll give you the name, dates, and times. Happened last year, and they just now charged him almost a year later. So if you rape somebody, will it take them that long for them to charge you? They protect their own. They don't want truth coming out. So, well, this microphone keeps going off, so we'll toss it to the curb and get the other one. So, they're crooked as hell. Now, they don't want you to know that they're out raping people. They're out raping in patrol cars. Let's see how many people we got on here. And you are in danger. So you're in danger of government rapes in Tennessee, right here in Tennessee, by law enforcement, by people in the government power. And I'm dangerous for telling you the truth. Now, a lot of women maybe is an option to, I'm not telling you not to stop, but you have to, that's the law. They haven't changed the law because they're going to rape you, maybe if you stop. But maybe when you see blue lights, you're out on a rural area, call 911, tell them you're being pulled over. At least get it on the record that, hey, I'm being pulled over. So somebody besides a law enforcement officer that might not even call it in will know you're out there. Maybe stay on the line with them as long as they'll let you. I'm not saying to run. I'm saying to be aware that it does happen at the state level. Everybody remember Mr. Randy Moss? That went away, didn't it? They solved the problem of the government using official power to rape you, didn't they? Now, they've cured it now. They've charged him after the fact, but the woman's already been raped, so what the hell good does that rape one of your daughters? And now they're charged. But that they still have to live a life with that, and they still got others out there that do the same damn thing. So don't just put your hands blue lights, it's a safe officer. Maybe it's not. Now, a lot of people are worried about a rapist. A lady got raped over here, I think near Market Square, by a thug. And so yeah, I don't play by their game. I don't pay attention. People give me dirty looks. I mean, I don't want that social pressure, but some people do. So it's the reason why I get it far over as I can. But people think whatever they want to. I'm telling the truth about stuff. If you don't want to hear it, don't listen. I could care less. There's millions of people that do. They like the truth. They not paying attention to the government brand. The government brand will get you raped. And you have to get raped. You have to get raped. You have to follow the law, don't you? So you have to get raped. I'm just telling you. That happened. I'll have to give you names, dates, and times. When we get to our signature location, obey the law. At your own demise, maybe. And I'm telling you, obey the law. I'm just telling you, while you're obeying the law, while the safe law enforcement is there, branded as safe, legal, legitimate, out for your public safety and protection. I mean, after all, you pay them to rape you. I mean, he was getting a salary. That's a pretty good deal. The sheriff knew or should have known. Did he not know who he was hired? Did he not do a background investigation? He had to have a roll call every day. Did he not talk to him? Maybe some of the language that he used and some of his character. Bing, ding, ding. Hey, this is not a good man. The responsibility's on him, but he's not taking responsibility. As soon as after the crime, after the rape, but the lady's got to live with all her life. We took him off the job. That's a little too late. As soon as the plane landed in the Potomac River and the Black Hawk helicopter, 67 bodies floating around, we went out and collected them so people could take pictures and see how the government functions. It functions horrifically. We fixed it now. We've determined there were systemic problems Everybody's forgot about it. I ain't forgot about it. Little children died. Failure of the government. You can't trust the government. Right here in Tennessee, you had to stop. You had to stop. Blue lights behind you, had to stop. And I'm not telling you not to stop. I'm not telling you to break the law. Now, if you know ahead of time that the person's going to rape you, I mean, I'm telling you, at least maybe if you're a woman out at night, and maybe even a man, men can rape other men or men can rape women. And it's almost unheard of that women rape men, which would go unreported anyway. But go to a well-lit area as far as possible. Now, you can't just drive for across county lines or for miles and miles. But if you can, turn on your emergency flashers. Slow down, show them that you're trying to abide by the law, and pull into a well-lit area, a well-populated area. Hopefully, if there's other people around. I'm just telling you, because you have to stop. This is the government telling you to stop, and there may be a rapist in the car. There was one that just got charged the other day that the lady had to stop. She got raped. Now, they don't want to tell you about that. I will. It's called a systemic failure. That's not the only damn one. It's not. Randy Moss. So, a way to try to avoid the systemic failures of our government, because we put them in power, we have to obey the law. And we do, but I'm playing by a different game. Knowing that there is systemic failures, and there is, until we can get out and vote them out, and I can get millions of more followers and millions more views to tell you what's really going on. Our government offices have fallen. They're a complete decimation for us, while they're on their high pedestal, branding themselves as good, and you're being decimated all across the United States of America, all across the state of Tennessee specifically. This does not have to happen. It's not normal. It's not right. It's a brand. It's a lie. It's a fraud. They're raping and murdering you. That's the truth. Now, I'll say that as long as I can. They might murder me. I don't know. There you go. We got a lot of fans. They might. I'm telling you the truth about people that have feloniously, in some cases, been elected to government power and run our government to hell. They don't provide what they claim they'll provide. Giving you some examples. Blowing them up. They blow up lies about you and me. They'll tell you stuff and a jury stuff that's absolutely not true in their little squared off crooked courtrooms by their set, hand-picked, lying criminal judges. And I'm not saying they work in a criminal court. I'm saying they're criminal judges that should be in jail. They shouldn't be in our criminal courts. That's the damn truth. Giving you examples, presenting my case. They trained me how to be a lawyer. They didn't know God want me to use it to prosecute them. It's not hard to do. Let's overcome their brand. They're liars and fraudsters. And they murder you and your children and say, it's all right, we cured it. And they even admit their own documents. Systemic failure all across the state of Tennessee by our government. A woman was raped the other day by a law enforcement officer. Where do you hear about that? You hear about the good deeds they're doing by the news media and the wonderful things they're doing and how blessed we are to have these powerful people in office being so wonderful for us. Keep voting for them. Keep voting Republican. I call them Republicans. They're not even Republicans. And Democrats, I don't call them Democrats. I call them Demorats. Both parties are part of it. They label people, and they even label each other, and that's how we know it's a real phenomenon that's going on, because they do it to themselves, to each other party every day. And we'll give you the name of the sheriff deputy that pulled the woman over. Some of the things you can do to protect yourself are, if you're a woman out in the rural area, and I'm not telling you to do this every time, but you can do whatever you want to. I'm just saying, be aware. Just because you're being stopped by a law enforcement officer in Tennessee does not mean you're safe. Does not mean you won't be raped or murdered unlawfully. So people are weary about going to Market Square. Some of them are. It's as safe as anywhere. They got a lot of good law enforcement there. And Knoxville Police Department has one of the best police departments in the state, because I know some officers. It's not secondhand information. I know some officers. And there are very good people that give me money to help me get this message out. See, they're not telling you that because they can't. But people are afraid to get robbed by an unknown thug on Market Square. A stranger approaches you and says, hey, come over here. And you know, hey, people know, hey, I'm not stupid. I'm not, some thug or homeless person. They're gonna rape me, and you get somewhere quickly. Which is common damn sense. It's not common sense because of their branding, and I'm trying to make it common sense, to fear the blue lights behind you. Because the person may be a rapist. That's not conspiracy. That happened the other day. I'll give you names, dates, and times, and charges, and it's not cured now, not by a long shot. And people that are giving these people law enforcement commissions are branding other people not worthy, while they gave him a law commission and put him out on the road to rape you. They don't care. They're not raping them. They're not raping them. They're raping you. They brand themselves good. Do the cover up. That's one rogue officer. I would respectfully submit to all of you all that as much as you fear the rogue long rapist, homeless person on Market Square that you're well aware of when he hollers at you, go the other way, that you're cautious and leery of him, I would respectfully submit to all the public that you should be weary and leery of people in government power, that they will rape and murder you too, and they do. Look at the Potomac River. Did they tell people we're understaffed? Do they tell people the person in the patrol car that you have to stop for may be a rapist? They're the ones that are around them. They're the ones that branded them. They're the ones that approved them. I didn't brand them. I didn't prove them, wouldn't have. And then they brand me a wicked person just because I tell you the truth. Well, they can brand me whatever they want to. I'm not on that game. I don't play that game. I'm not listening to them. I'm watching what they do and telling you. And that's the message today. And we got a lot more. Wow. So our views went down. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we'll continue putting out the truth to power and show you the business. So you're watching the Charles Van Morgan Show. We're at our signature location. Hello, my friend. God bless. Sorry I haven't been around, but God bless. Thank you. Please stop lying about police officers. I'm not lying about police. Please stop lying about police officers. Oh, let me tell you that. See that? That's branding. Please stop lying about this. That's trying to brand. I'm not lying about anybody. I'm telling you the truth about people. And they're responsible for police officers that they license being out on the road. I'm not responsible for them. They're responsible for them. So let's look at lying. Let's see what they said. On June 22nd, a Haywood County grand jury, Haywood, Tennessee, returned an indictment charging Mr. Norfolk, he shouldn't be called Mr., he's a criminal, branding him a criminal, with one count each of rape, attempted rape, official misconduct, and tampering with evidence. June 23rd, with the assistance of the United States Marshal Service, Norfolk turned himself in, was booked in the Haywood County Jail on $250,000 bond. So, this deputy sheriff, who was out on the road, was committing a rape. He committed a rape under color of law, approved by them, evidently branded by them, a good person. In August 2025, last year. And now he's just being charged. He committed a rape. He committed a rape last year, August 2025. And he's just now being charged June 22nd. So almost a year later, this law enforcement officer that pulled somebody over with blue lights and their authority, their brand, the police, we're safe, we're here to help you, protect you. pulled somebody over, and a year later they charged him with rape. I wonder how long it took for them to charge the man with rape, the homeless thug that raped somebody on Market Square. I think I heard about it the next few days. And this would have hurt their brand, so they're trying to cover it up. On August 25th at the Cresta, the 28th Judicial District Attorney General Frederick Agee, TBI agents began investigating alleged misconduct involving Marvin Lee Norfolk Sr. He'd be 62 years old, deputy sheriff, Haywood County, at which time was working as a deputy with the Haywood County Sheriff's Office. During the course of the investigation, agents collected and presented evidence alleging that Norfolk sexually assaulted a woman during a traffic stop. So, sexually assaulted. They charged him with rape, so they're trying to water it down. He just sexually assaulted. Maybe he rubbed her a little bit while he's patting her down. That's sexual assault. No, it says rape in the warrant. So which one is it? Of course, you can't get the warrant. They won't let you see what he actually did, what the allegations are. They brand law enforcement great people. I'm just telling you. I'm not telling you not to obey the law. I'm telling you that these people that are branded good, people in the government, they're systemic failures. Maybe they're not. Be leery and cautious. Get up and vote these people out of office that approve these people. It's branding in the Potomac River, Bucks, North Tennessee. Government's in full control. Are they trustworthy? They brand themselves Nike and all kinds of names that Coca-Cola, you can drink it and you can know, hey, this is good stuff. But is it really what it says to be? In all cases, hell no. Branding, that's power. You are or will be branded dangerous criminals. That's me and you. We will be. That's going to happen. And themselves safe saviors. Now that's the truth. The fatal cost of trusting the brand, and it's fatal. I'm putting out the message. And the cost, I'll show you what happens when you put your hands in the hands of the government and think they're saints and saviors, and they're not. The government brands itself as a safe one, the competent one, the one looking out for you. That's the brand. Here's what they don't put on the label. January 29, 2025, a passenger jet and Army helicopter collided over the Potomac River. 67 people died. The NTSB final report, the government's own investigation into itself, found that FAA had years of data. They knew the brand wasn't right, showing near misses at the exact spot and never fixed it. The brand was on there that it was safe, but the truth was it was a damn dirty, deadly lie to the civilians, mass populace of Tennessee. It's little children, more than a dozen little children, ice skaters, and their parents dead. They weren't told at the airport, hey, we're branding this as safe, we're the government, but you ought to know this information before you get on the plane, that we don't have it properly staffed by air traffic controllers. One person's doing the job of several because we don't want to pay people that actually carry the load. We're paying people at the top that don't do a damn thing except for go around branding themselves, giving themselves government documents saying we're great. They're not great. They're not great at all. They're murdering us. It is murder. To know of something falls under the category of murder. To know of a known risk of death or serious bodily injury and ignore that. It's called malice. Reckless disregard for the truth that is a danger to somebody's injury, to serious bodily injury or death, is malice murder. And that's what they do to you. That night, one air traffic controller was doing jobs at once on 2 different radios, completely overwhelmed because of the staffing shortage. This isn't an isolated story. It's now confirmed nationally that close calls like this happen more often than the public has ever told. As you're traveling right now, I'm sending the message out. They say it's a systemic problem. It hasn't been cured. It hasn't been cured. Still dangerous to get on the airport. Ask questions. Wow, I got almost 200 people in here. So we like, share, comment. I'm sending the message. But they don't want me to say, you can't trust people in government power. People fear the thug in Market Square or wherever you're at, the stranger that may rape you. You know, you're well aware, hey, get away from that person. Stingy clothes, they might rape me. At night, trying to get you in a dark alley, everybody's well aware of that. That's common damn sense. It ought to be common damn sense. It ought to be common damn sense. It ought to be common damn sense to fear people in government power. Not because if you're doing wrong that they'll put you in jail, because if you're out living your life safely, they will rape you or not give you information that can provide for your safety. So, the Potomac River, 67 people killed. Here's what nobody tells you when you buy a ticket. How short-staffed the tower is tonight, whether one controller is doing two jobs, whether there's a documented history of near misses on that exact route. You're never given that information. You just trust the brand, the FAA, the airline, the government keeps the skies safe, and you get on the plane. Just here recently, if you think I'm grinding an axe talking about past wrongs, this is something that happened just last year. 67 bodies. The government is safe, and it's a systematic problem according to the news media. Just about a day ago, they confirmed that the reported near misses are way underreported. They don't report all their near misses in the skies. They're way underreported. So you have airplanes almost colliding into each other in horrific accidents that can kill 67 people or how many ever people on the plane that are never even told. We missed that one, and it never gets documented. No improvements are ever made. Near misses are way underreported. So if you're in the air and you say, man, that airplane almost hit us, you never hear anything about it, it's because they don't report it. They don't take measures to find out maybe the airplane that almost collided into you, the pilot was drunk, they should have known, they need to investigate that and take measures to stop it from happening again. Way underreported just 2 days ago. They informed the public, national news, made a statement that nobody catches on to like I do because I'm out for public safety, they're not, is that near misses in the air, in our airports, in our airlines are way underreported. They're not reporting on it. They're seeing a lot more than what they report. Everybody's worried about flying saucers. What I've seen, them things can move where they'll miss you. What I'm worried about is our airlines, our public transportation. Hello, are wicked and crooked as hell, and they murder you. They have knowledge and they recklessly disregard it. They don't even document the near misses. They don't tell you. Here's what nobody tells you when you buy a plane ticket. How short-staffed the tower is tonight. Whether one controller is doing two jobs, whether there's a documented history of near misses on that exact route. You're never given that information. You just trust the brand. Trust the government. I don't trust the government. I'm telling you the truth. Don't trust them. Be leery of them. Don't just trust the skanky-clad person out trying to get you in an alley. The pilot on the airplane. The people that are in control of the government. Imagine them in skanky clothes. Come on board the plane, come on. You'll end up in the river. You're never given the information. You just trust the brand. The FAA, the airline, the government keeps the sky safe and you get on the plane. No, they don't. Don't trust them. Ask questions. Don't get on the plane. If it's not safe or you don't get your fears confirmed, 67 people did exactly that. They got on the airplane. Little children. That's sad. They weren't reckless. They were never given the chance to know the risk. Well, I'm giving you a chance to know the risk. I'm telling you, don't trust the damn people in government power. I got the scars to prove it. Because the people running the system kept the brand polished and the warning data buried. Now, I'm unburying it. I'm covering up, showing you the bodies in their backyards. In their government. It's not my government. When I was in their government, I was stopping people from going in their backyards dead. That's the real cost of branding. It's not just about reputation. When the brand says safe, And the truth says we knew about the danger and didn't fix it. People don't get to choose. They just die trusting the label. Don't trust the government. Don't trust the label. They were seizing people's cars for years and years and years, fixing their toilets right here in Knox County, according to their allegations. Years later, that they tell you that that's what they believe. That's why I'm not asking you to trust the government's brand of itself. I'm asking you to look at the actual records, like this one, and decide for yourself. I'm bringing the other side. They're saying we're trustworthy. I'm saying, no, the hell you are. You're not. You're dangerous. More dangerous than a street thug. Don't believe the brand. Open the can. Check under the label. Check under the hood. Powerful people in institutions routinely brand their critics, me, opponents, and whistleblowers, and journalists as criminal, dangerous, or deviant to discredit them, brand themselves as lawful, safe, and heroic, even when facts run the other way. That isn't just spin, it follows documented sociology. Howard Becker's labeling theory, ever engulfing stigma and front stage, backstage performance, and the modern brand self. The defense is simple. Don't accept either brand at face value. Check firsthand. Witnesses. We'll tell you some biblical references to this stuff. We're not in heaven. We're in a fallen world where the government thinks they're saints. And I'm not taking his name in vain. They think they're Jesus Christ. And they're far from it. They advertise that their followers put the brand. Hey, we're out for your safety. The hell they are. Let's look at the record. I'm a living, walking record, and they won't shut me up. They can't. They forgot that I'm like Daniel. I'm a fighter. I'll keep throwing the rock. You can't knock me down enough times. It doesn't work. That's what God put me on the planet for. They ran into some damn trouble. It's called the truth. Check firsthand witnesses. I'm a witness. Court records, final depositions, and original documents. Maybe you ought to check the airline's history of safety before you get on the plane. Check the airport's history of staffing before you agree to fly to that airport. Don't trust them. Do not trust the government. I'm not tiptoeing around this. You can trust them sometimes. You can't trust them at all, ever, anytime. Check. Open the label. Key findings. Labels stick harder than facts. So the facts say they're deadly. You'll end up in the Potomac River. They don't have enough people on board at the airport. One man doing two jobs, one air traffic controller. That's the facts. The brand says we're good and safe. We're the government. Once applied, the label becomes a master status that controls how courts, employers, and voters treat a person, even after the underlying accusation collapses. The brand and the reality are often reversed. The official who branded someone criminal, which they branded me a criminal, although I've never been convicted of a crime, and I'm a witness, I didn't commit a crime. They did. And they don't even have a videotape that I did. They had body cams on. Why don't they prove it? Because they're lying to you in more ways than one. The pattern is bipartisanship, goes across both Republicans and Democrats. And structure, a feature of power, not one of ideology. Tennessee offers unusual, clean examples. Several broken by News Channel 5, Phil Williams. Boy, they hate him. I love Phil Williams. I think he's a great man. Thank you, Phil Williams. He doesn't play by the same rules either. He investigates and looks into facts, which is a real problem for the government brand. Where official lawbreaker framing aimed at activists collapsed while the officials doing the framing were themselves caught in scandal or federal convictions. They even cover the mass fatality and blame it on you that they caused. They get awards for your work after they got rid of you and called you a criminal. But you weren't a criminal for the work that they got credit for. You know, it's a big circle that goes to them every time, how wonderful they are, while they're up in the clouds, saints, watching the mass casualties in the state of Tennessee, your demise. The sociology made simple. Criminal isn't really about what you did. This is how they brand us. Well, they're responsible for 67 people dead, 16 in Bucksnort, a rape just the other day. perpetrated by their government power against you. And then they brand you. Criminal isn't really about what you did. It's about whether someone with power decided to slap that label on you. So it's not about that you committed a crime. It's about whether or not they want to label that of you to discredit you or to incarcerate you. That's sociology. It's not stuff I'm making up, talking conspiracies here. You can get this stuff out of any textbook in sociology taught in every major university across the United States of America, in the whole world. I've read it, I've studied it, I've lived some of this stuff. I know what the hell I'm talking about, and I know what they're doing, and I'm sending an educated message, and more important than that, a life lived message to warn you all. Don't trust the government. You'll end up in the Potomac River or blown to hell on your job because you trust a Christian governor who's a thug. So, and they brand me a criminal. I'm not a criminal. I'm an honest, God-fearing person. I fear God. I don't fear them. If they blow me up, they'll blow me straight to heaven. Criminal isn't really about what you did. It's about whether someone with power decided to slap that label on you. In public, where everyone can see it. Becker called this labeling theory. Sociology doesn't just discover deviance. It creates it by deciding what acts get punished and which people get the label. Once the label sticks, it becomes your master status. Now, they've given me a master status so damn good because I'm such a threat to them in getting out the truth, and I'm such a benefit to your safety that they care nothing about. If I'd have been there, I would have told you, they don't get on that plane. They don't have staffing at the other place where you're landing. It might be a horrific wreck. They've had near misses there. I'm warning you right now, hey, there might be a near miss. Don't trust the government. Question it for your safety, health, protection, well-being. It's God's work. Like a weatherman. Todd Hall, great man. Christian man. I met him one time. Great man. And I told him, you're doing God's work. You're warning people about bad weather, tornadoes, hurricanes, stuff that will kill them. Hey, it's coming your way. Take cover. Meteorologists that go over the public air are doing God's work, warning people about the weather. I'm warning you about the government. So, society doesn't just discover deviance, it creates it by deciding which acts get punished, which get the label of deviance, whether or not it's harmful or not. And once that label sticks, it becomes your master status. They've labeled me a deviant person because I'm warning you about how deviant they are. The one thing people see before anything else about you, don't believe their labels. I'm not buying their labels. Here's the part most people miss. Now get this. Crime itself is a social construct. It's not a fixed law of nature. It's not like gravity. Jump off the bridge, you'll go in the river, sink to the bottom, you'll get stuck in the mud, you'll drown. That is physics. That's gravity. That's a law of nature. That's God's laws. You won't get past that law. Their laws are not laws of nature. They depend on who the person is and what they want to call wrong or right. It's not in actuality right or wrong. In some cases it can be wrong. In some cases it's not. It's whatever the people holding the power decide to write into law and to punish. Right now, the rogue people making dangerous laws for you and exempting themselves. The line between criminal and lawful tracks power. It goes along with what they want, not necessarily what's good for the public. And I'm trying to tell you, it's not good for the public. So the line between criminal and lawful tracks power, not necessarily harm. The old saying proves it. Here, now get this. Treason doth never prosper. What's the reason? Treason don't never prosper. Why is that? A treasonous person goes against his country, tries to overthrow the government, a treasonous act. Doesn't ever prosper. They catch the person every time. Why? For if it prospered, none dare to call it treason. Because if you're successful in the coup, you're not a treasonous person. Because if you call the person treasonous that was able to accomplish the task of taking over the government, it's now in control, then you'll be the one to go to jail. For if it's prospered, none call it treason. If the coup succeeds, the winners write the history books and the traitor becomes the founder. I'm just telling you the facts, the way it really is. Sociology 101. This isn't fiction. Well-known scientific stuff. And they're playing this dirty game on you at your own demise. And I'm pointing it out. People in government power are branding you evil and branding themselves good. George Washington is a hero today. If he had lost, the British Crown law would have hanged him as a traitor. Same facts, different label, because the label depends on who wins, not on what was actually done. So think about that. Think about the labels, and I don't know why this keeps going on. Think about the labels. Think about the labels that they put on people. Almost 200 people in here. Think about the labels. Crime is a social construct. Not necessarily good or not necessarily evil. It is a social construct. A treasonous person is not called a treasonous if they're successful. So treason never prospers, because if it does prosper, it's not called treason. Depends on the definition of the person in power. And if they're successful, they don't call themselves treasonous. And that's how the story goes. And that's how they brand themselves as heroes. Like, share, comment, almost 200 people. And that's what they're doing in government power today. They're treasonous people in power, branding themselves that you're treasonous. I mean, you look at that. The protests at the Capitol. When Biden was in power, treasonous people went to jail. Now that Trump's in power, their heroes getting pardons. The old saying proves it. Treason doth never prosper. What's the reason? For if it prosper, none dare cause treason. If the crew succeeds, the winner writes the history books and the traitor becomes the founder. George Washington is a hero today. If he had lost, the British Crown's law would have hanged him as a traitor. Same facts, different label, because the label depends on who wins, not on what was actually done. So let's win this and brand them the truthful traitors that they are. Slavery was legal. Segregation was legal. Things that cause massive harm can be perfectly legal because the people writing the law benefits from them. And they write the damn laws to benefit them to the hilt. It's so damn obvious. I'll show you some of them. Branding themselves heroes when they're treasonous, violating the Constitution. And sometimes the label isn't even about harm. It's all about a weapon used to demonize an opponent, a smoke screen, pointing a louder finger at someone else's crime, while their own harmful deeds happen quietly off camera. Goffman's stigma theory adds the other half. A label is deeply discrediting, reducing a person from a whole, usual person to a tainted, discounted one. That's what they're trying to do to me. I'm not playing by that game. And his D-R-A-M-A-T-U-R-G-Y dramaturgy theory explains the performance of public figures manage a curated front stage identity, lawful, safe, lawful, heretic. This is what they do, present that image to the government. They're safe, lawful, heroic, while the backstage stays hidden. And I'm a witness to the backstage. Got scars from what they tried to do to me. Not bitter, just informed, braver. And I'm a witness. I'm going to tell you about their backstage. Bottom line, the label criminal tells you who had the power to apply it. It does not automatically tell you who actually did the most harm. I'm here to tell you they're doing the most harm to you right now. The brand itself. Politicians aren't just running on what they've done. They're running on a marketing campaign on themselves. They're doing it right now. Tennessee's electing the governor and some high-confluting political positions. The same playbook Nike uses for sneakers. Scholars call this self-commodification, turning your own identity into a product, packaged and sold. The packaging is the look, the slogan, the stage, the walk. The story is the values, the charisma, the personal narrative. Now, you see this on the news channels bombarded every day. The political candidates running for office selling you their brand. What's behind the curtain? Well, Mr. CEO likes to call you, he's a CEO, John Rose, and tell you all the other candidates, and he's not going to win anyway. Marsha Blackburn's going to be the nominee for the Republican Party. But he's telling you, he's got a lot of money, putting out a lot of the brand, that he's a CEO and all the other candidates aren't CEOs, and Donald Trump's a CEO. He's like Donald Trump, so you should elect him, attaching himself to the Donald Trump brand. And Marsha Blackburn, you are doing the same damn thing, running a commercial where Trump's calling her a great, wonderful person. But Mr. Trump hasn't endorsed either one of them. Doesn't endorse either one of them. Why is that? Maybe you don't want either one of them. And they're branding themselves in the front stage with all their money. But what's behind the curtain? Well, Mr. John Rose is appealing to he's trying to get them while they're young, isn't he? I mean, most of y'all know what I mean. Get them while they're young. And brand himself as a CEO, and the others just politicians. Well, he's a politician too. He's in public office right now. How's it working for you? He's backing up the politicians. So he's just branding himself a politician. So as you look at the beautiful view, we'll go on. Over 200 people. Thank you all so much. Like, share, comment, and if you can contribute, we appreciate it. Let's help make the team. I'll give you the story of what these people are about. So, your brain doesn't fully separate the two. When you see a candidate's brand, your mind uses the same shortcuts it uses on a commercial. You feel something before you think anything. So they're attaching themselves to Trump. Trump's endorsing him. They claim he's not, but he's not. So you get that good Trump feeling, and you vote for these people. And he's a CEO, so he's more like Trump than any of them, and says others are just politicians. He's getting them while they're young, and he's a politician too. So I'm not just saying, I'm telling you. The trap. If all you ever consume is the brand, you never get to know how it really is. I'm telling you how it really is. So look past the brand to three things. The money trail. Who's funding them? And what do these funders get back? Powerful groups are funding them that are going to get laws written for them against you. And also look at the court filings, not just who won, but why. And the record itself. A clean record can be bought. A tainted one can be manufactured. They have manufactured a false record against me with no convictions. Judge made falsehoods because I am calling out their brand, opening up the can and saying there's salmonella in here. These people are murdering us. Imagine that. I'm calling them dangerous thugs, so they brand me as a wicked person, which is absolutely the opposite of that. So look past the brand. And a candidate selling you a feeling is not the same thing as a candidate showing you a record. I'm creating a record. How the brand themselves good on the record. The government just doesn't brand its critics, it brands itself formally. Now, this stuff's gonna blow your mind. I'm pointing it out. They think it's all right. I don't think it's all right at all. They're branding themselves while they're murdering us. Using the same body that has the power to expel a college in a single afternoon, Tennessee legislature passes hundreds of self-congratulatory resolutions every session. Lawmakers honoring lawmakers. They honor themselves. Republicans honor Republicans. Write it into law. And then brand me as an evil person because I'm pointing out that their lawmaking writing, praising themselves, is trash. The Tennessee General Assembly passed a joint resolution honoring State Representative Lionel Russell himself, with a former U.S. Senator Lamar Alexander, former governor, adding praise for his gallantry. I know Lowell Russell personally. I'm a witness. He's not a good person. He's a liar. He made your roads more dangerous when he was a trooper. He was not a good supervisor. He's a fraud. He's dangerous. He set up a situation where you'll die in the Potomac River and didn't give you any warning. I'm warning you about him. Now, they can brand me whatever they want to. They brand him and the government is good. I know him. I'm an eyewitness. They can say whatever they want to in their government brands. I'm telling you the truth. Lamar Alexander praised him for his gallantry. Lamar Alexander doesn't have good judgment himself. He has a chief of staff that was charged with having child pornography, and he's the same one branding Lowell Russell as a good person. I'm just telling you the facts, like it or lump it, hard, cold truth. So that's the system, writing a hero label for one of its own, using the same chamber and the same kind of votes it uses to write expelled on someone else's name. Deuteronomy 17:6. We'll put a big biblical standard to this. People don't think I'm Christian. I'm very Christian. I say, well, you speak evil about people. No, I don't. I speak the truth about people in order to protect you. That's what they brand me, as somebody that is bitter. I'm not bitter. I'm speaking the truth to protect you. There's a point in this. Deuteronomy 17:6 gives the standard for this. At the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, or whatever brand they want to put on you. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. 1 accuser alone was never enough to party, because the witness himself had to act as executioner. So they wanted to make sure that a witness was telling the truth, because they had to feel strong enough about it that they would actually do the execution. So they have people in the Tennessee state government that execute you from afar. Apply that standard both directions. Don't believe someone is a criminal off one accuser's word. Don't accept a government body's praise itself as credible witness either. The people writing the resolution and the person receiving it are on the same team, voting on each other. That's not 2 or 3 independent witnesses. That's a government honoring itself on paper is not the same as a government being honorable. Tennessee examples. And we're going to talk about some examples of the government branding themselves, using your government power to brand themselves. Let's look at this. This is a bill honoring somebody in government power. He was in power when Bucksnort went on. He was in power, I know the man. Whereas resident Mr. Russell, THP Sergeant Russell, there's a bill honoring Mr. Russell. McNally in power to appoint Lee Russell to Police Officer Standing Training Commission. So he's over the commission, and that police that's raping women, and strong commitment to law enforcement. He's got a strong commitment to law enforcement. That's what they say. And he has helped to enhance the well-being of this state and citizens. So they're branding Lowell Russell a hero, writing their own resolution 30, writing their own resolution, branding him someone who helped the well-being of this state and citizens. So they're branding him that, and giving him power over the commitment to law enforcement. Same law enforcement that raped women just the other day, raped a woman just the other day. So they're branding themselves with their own government power the ability to brand themselves good and brand you evil while you're getting on the damn plane. Here's another bill. Here's another bill. Resolution to congratulate Major Stacey Heatherly on the occasion of her retirement. So they're making her, she's a great person. All law enforcement, leave her alone. Check mark, branded. By government. Major Stacey Heatherly. I know her. To commend and congratulate Major Stacey Heatherly. That's what they did. They branded her good. The fatality rate. You know, the river, the Potomac River went up 45%. 45% here. Fatality rate 45% under Major Stacey Heatherly. But they branded her good. They wrote a government resolution branding her a hero, her good. Isn't that amazing? And brand me that their own admission is that I did a good job before the fact that I complained on them. And here's a resolution by Lowell Russell. House Joint Resolution. This is the branding themselves. This is a brand. It's a government brand. Government brand. Branding them good. A resolution to commend Major Stacey Heatherly. So they're commending her. And she is brought honor to the office, East Bureau Major. Now, she brought honor to the office. Does she get honor to the office when a citizen complained on her for being drunk on the job and calling a taxi, not a taxi, calling a Tennessee State Trooper to come and pick her drunk ass up and her entourage? But they're branding her. Doesn't matter what the facts are. Doesn't matter what the facts are. And I know her. I've met her personally. Came to work, sticking her finger in my face in clothes that showed everything she owned. I mean, I'm just saying, how do you think she got promoted? How do you think she got promoted? I'm telling you the facts. People don't like to hear that. But they're branding themselves. They're branding themselves good people. They're branding themselves good people. And branding me, you can read the brand they wrote about me. It's pretty horrific, isn't it? Pretty nasty, dirty lies. Well, they're writing themselves government things, praising themselves to high heaven. Get on the plane. We're safe. We're the government. We're great. Look, we said we're great ourselves. This is our brand. That's how they do it. They brand themselves as great, honorable, great people. And even Randy McNally brand these people great. By their own admission, their own witnesses. I testify for myself. I'm great. While Lowell Russell is over the Police Officer Standing and Training Commission, he just approved a deputy through their own systematic failures that he was all right to be in a police car and he stopped and raped you in Hayward County just the other day. So these people are dangerous as hell. The brand processes are just running on what they've done. They're running on a marketing campaign on themselves. The same playbook not used for sneakers. Scholars call this self-commodification, turning your own identity into a product packaged and sold, using the government to do that. There's a government record on file that says they voted and they're great. They voted for themselves and they all voted that they're all great. Get on the plane, go to work in Bucksnort, it's all fine. We're great people, we'll protect you. The packaging is the look, the slogan, the stage walk, the story is the values, the charisma, the personal. And that's all a brand. It's not real. And the Bible teaches us that we don't go on the word of one witness, and they're one witness witnessing for themselves, 2 or 3 witnesses, before you can believe what somebody's telling you. And I'm telling you, don't believe these people. February 2019, the Capitol elevator. During a protest over the Nathan Bedford Forest bust, activist Justin Jones was arrested for allegedly tossing a few drops of iced tea at then Speaker Glenn Costa and Representative Deborah Moody inside a Capitol elevator. He was charged with misdemeanor assault and disorderly conduct in order to have no contact with Costa. Now, they've tried this number with me, and I didn't even throw ice on anybody. Costa's office then gave prosecutors an email purportedly showing Jones violated the order. So Costa was on the elevator, and the state representative, Justin Jones, got some ice and tea on Costa. So Costa went and got a warrant for misdemeanor assault and had him arrested. And he got a social order protection against him. Costa then gave prosecutors an email purportedly showing Jones violated the order, dated after the fact. So he's not supposed to have any contact with him. Costa goes and says, look, he sent me an email after he had no contact order. But he changed the date. The email that he got was before the order. So he purportedly showing Jones had violated the order, dated after the fact. Jones had the original dated before his arrest. The date didn't hold up and the motive to revoke his bond was dropped. That's not disorderly conduct on Costa's office part. That's fraud on the court. So which one did the worst? This had nothing to do with guns or the Covenant School shooting, which hadn't happened yet. They're branding each other. March and April 2023, the House floor. 4 years later, after the Covenant School shooting, 3 Democrat representatives, Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and Gloria Johnson, 2 African-American men, and Gloria Johnson, used a bullhorn on the House floor to demand gun reform. To be clear, I don't agree with their positions. I support the Second Amendment because of the branding of the government. We got to have the Second Amendment to defend ourselves. And they don't. So I disagree with him. That's a fair disagreement to have, but what isn't fair is Jones and Pearson, both young black men, were expelled. Now that's important to note. Now they're branding that they expelled them for their activity on the House floor. That's the brand that the Republican Party sending you. But Johnson, a white woman, survived by 1 vote for identical protest. So what isn't fair is Jones and Pearson, both young black men, were expelled. Johnson, a white woman, survived by 1 vote for the identical protest. So they were on the House floor protesting against gun rights, which I disagree with, but they're protesting, and there was a vote to kick them out of the House of Representatives because of their protests, nonviolent protests. The 2 black men were expelled. The white woman, Gloria Johnson, wasn't expelled for the same conduct. They say that it was different conduct. You watch the video and you tell me for yourself. Same conduct. Why were the 2 black men expelled? I'll tell you why. Representative Lowell Russell, who represents Monroe County, home to a known white supremacist compound. So the area that votes him in office is known for having a white supremacist compound against African Americans, and neo-Nazi, they're against Jewish people. So his voter base is racist. So of course he voted these people out of office. Of course. He's going to get elected. I'd rather be an unemployed candidate. So Representative Lloyd Russell, who represents Monroe County, home to known white supremacist compound, voted to expel Jones and Parsons, but keep Johnson saying on the record she did not participate to the extent that Jones and Parsons did. Throwing a cup of liquid of ice is rude, calling it federal level assault is a stretch. A censor for breaking decorum, fair, expulsion, punishment usually reserved for the actual corruption, extreme, and expelling people because of their race is wrong. Hello. And that's what happened. Whether you agree with their activity or not, either all of them or none of them should have been expelled. And I don't think none of them, a censor. For nonviolent protests. Convicted, then pardoned, Glenn Costa. The man whose office doctored the 2019 email at Speaker was Speaker of the House. They branded him good. Later that same year, over a separate sexual sexting scandal, was expelled. He and aide Claude Cawthorn immediately built a fake consulting firm, Phoenix Solutions, run under a made-up person's name, Matthew Phoenix, to secret funnel state mailer money back to themselves. A federal jury convicted Costa on 17 of 19 felony counts. In May 2025, he was sentenced to 3 years in federal prison. He was pardoned. No prison time served. The real reason, the real lesson, the office that doctored a document to brand a tea-tossing protester a bond violator was itself later proven to be by a federal jury to be running an actual fraud scheme. The justice system worked, but the powerful still got a pardon. Larry Buschardt, jailed 37 days over a meme in September 2025. A retired Buschardt posted a memo referencing the January 2024 Perry, Iowa school shooting in a Perry County, Tennessee Facebook group. Sheriff Nick Wilms branded him, had him arrested and charged with a felony threat, bond at $2 million. Buschardt spent 37 days in jail, lost his job. Confronted on camera, Wilms admitted, "We knew, the public did not know." The charge was dropped and Perry County settled Buschardt's civil rights suit for $835,000. So they branded him a criminal. And he was not. The FBI branded Martin Luther King Jr. the most dangerous Negro and wiretapped him, planted rumors, and encouraged his suicide, while the Senate Church Committee later found the Bureau itself had broken the law. Chevron's own consultants planned to demonize environmental lawyer Steve Donzer. He was jailed by a judge appointed through a firm with Chevron ties, while 55 Nobel recipients called it judicial harassment. Baltimore, Maryland, Mosby public branding of officers. The Freddie Gary case didn't hold up in court, and she was later convicted of unrelated fraud herself. A caution that cuts both directions. Journalists arrested while covering protests are charged and branded dangerous in the moment, then quietly cleared. Nearly 90% of journalists arrested in 2025 were never charged or had charges dropped. Wells Fargo whistleblowers who reported fraud were branded the problem and pushed out before the institutions were proven to be the actual fraud. So these institutions are the fraud people. Sociologists call it labeling, stigma, and the brand itself. Historians track the outside agitator trope, using from the civil rights era today to discredit protesters as outsiders. Watchdog groups across the political spectrum now accuse each other of weaponizing, labeling prosecutors. Proof that the tactic itself is bipartisan. Local accountability journalism, like this channel, especially News Channel 5, Phil Williams, has repeatedly exposed Tennessee's officials whose public law and order branding mash backstage misconduct. And I know these people. The brand that the public gives them is they're awesome God-fearing great people. Our own government documents that we wrote and voted on say that. But they're not. We almost have 100 likes. Let's get 100 likes. They're not. My own story, my own witness account. Now, I worked a wreck here on Johnsonville Highway when I was a state trooper. I was in Union County working a wreck. And I had to come from a county over to work a wreck. And Knox County Sheriff's Department deputies sat in their car on Johnsonville Highway while they waited for me to come a county over to come in Knox County on Johnsonville Highway and work a wreck. So I drove all that way, and it was a wreck with injury on Governor Johnsonville Highway. I'm just telling you a personal experience of these people that brand themselves good people to you, give themselves honors and awards when I know them, the backstory, the story they don't want to present to you. Now, I'm a witness. Believe me or not, I'll tell you what happened. I've seen it with my own eyes. I know these people. They're not good people. So I went to the wreck on Johnsonville Highway. Took me a long time to get there, coming across another county. When they sat there, could have worked the wreck. They got an ink pen. They got a wreck report. It's in their jurisdiction, but they wanted to sit in their air-conditioned car. So I got out, and it was a lady that went off the road, a straight road. I mean, if it's a curve and you miss the curve and go off the road, hey, there's a reason for that. But the road was straight on Johnsonville Highway, where she went off the road on a straight road for no reason and hit a tree at a high rate of speed, and it broke her passenger's arm. So there's serious bodily injury, breaking a bone, serious bodily injury. Now I talked to her, asked her what happened. She was telling me, and I could smell alcohol on her breath. Not like all reports of police departments say. I could smell it on her breath. She had an odor of alcohol on her breath. I began talking to her, and she was unsteady on her feet, wobbling around. So I started having belief that she could possibly be under the influence of alcohol. So I started giving her sobriety tests. Asked her if she would agree to them. She did, which is a walk and turn, one leg stand, horizontal gaze in nystagmus. And I also asked them, I didn't get all fancy, do you know the alphabet? Yes or no? Yes. Well, then just say the alphabet for me. And when the deputy saw me start to give her sobriety test, he jumps out of his car then. It says, I already gave her sobriety test. She's fine. You don't need to test her. She's fine. She's not drunk. And I have to mark on the arrest report that I observed, and I'm signing my name to a report, which I took seriously, that she's not under the influence. Now, I can't take his word for that because I don't know personally, and I can't testify in court later that she wasn't drunk if it comes to that, because I don't know. It'd be hearsay, an out-of-court statement other than one offered by the declarant at the present trial or hearing, offered into evidence as proof of the matter asserted. So I can't testify to what he said, hearsay. It's an out-of-court statement from somebody that wasn't there. I can testify from my direct knowledge in court. It's not out of court, something I've seen with my own eyes. So what I did was, when he said she's not drunk, is I said, okay. And I knew he didn't want to do this, being sarcastic, because he's lazy. He sat there for an hour waiting on me to come while he's sitting in his car. So I said, okay. I had the wreck report out. I was checking stuff off, and I said, here's the wreck report. You think she's not drunk? Go ahead and check the box. Here you go. I'll watch it. And no. I said, well, if I'm doing the wreck, you called me here to do the wreck, and I knew he wouldn't want to do it, then I'm going to give her a sobriety test because I think that she might be intoxicated. So just stand back, law enforcement officer, or get back in your car, whatever you do, go wherever you go. If you want me to do this, I'm going to do it right, the way it should be done. And maybe they go somewhere and steal people's money, and I don't know. I'm not just saying, I'm telling you. So I did the standardized field sobriety test. She was drunk off her ass. She was bad drunk. Wasn't hard to figure. And the deputy was trying to intervene in her arrest. Why? I don't know. I have no clue. But it was a felony too, because she was drunk and she seriously injured another person. Even your passenger, you seriously injured your passenger in a drunk driving wreck, then it's a felony. So I placed her under arrest for drunk driving. She wouldn't take a blood test, obviously. And she started complaining, and I'm just telling you about Major Stacy Heatherly, the great God that's written into law as a God. I mean, they've literally wrote her into law as a God, as a great person. Drunken sot, and her entourage. Brandon her is a good person. Her best girlfriend, according to her, Lionel Russell, branded her as a saint and a hero, her dedicated service. Her dedicated service puts you on that airplane that puts you in the Potomac River. Oh, that's dangerous. Yeah. So I'm just telling you that one witness. So here's what happened. So I got her under arrest despite the interference from the deputy sheriff. He thought, well, it ain't important enough for me to have to do a little work. I'll let him work it. And I worked it the way it should have been worked. Had her under arrest. And after she was under arrest, she said that she didn't feel well and that she needed to go to the hospital. So I was a state trooper, commissioned law enforcement officer at the time. Now I know knew basic first aid, but I am not a EMT, emergency medical technician. So yeah, almost over 200 people in here like, share, comment, and subscribe and contribute. So I'm not a medical technician. I'm not an EMT or a medical person. Basic life-saving measures, yeah, all officers are trained in basic life-saving measures. But she had been in a serious wreck where somebody else was hurt. They broke their arm. And she might have had head injuries or something. She said she needed to go to the hospital. And in light of the serious wreck, it's not my place to determine whether she needs an ambulance or not. My place is to provide for people's safety that are in my custody. So when they tell me that they need an ambulance, and there's evidence to sustain that, and even if there's not, you don't know, then you need to call an ambulance. So I called an ambulance. And the ambulance came and talked to her and took her to the hospital. So I had to release her from custody because her medical trumped over law enforcement purposes at the immediate time. She had to go to the hospital. You can't put somebody in jail that needs to be in the hospital. And that's not my decision to make. So I called an ambulance and released her into their custody and went and put a warrant on file for her to be picked up later after she's medically treated, as you're supposed to do. Now, had I kept her in the car, took her to the jail, and she died, then you'd got a real good story about me, wouldn't you? But I did what I should have done, took care of her medical treatment. Just because somebody's guilty of a crime doesn't mean that you're judge, jury, and executioner. Your job is, if there's evidence there, to observe it and charge him with a crime and bring him before a judge and let them decide the outcome of the case. And to provide for their safety while they're in your custody. Their safety is your responsibility, regardless if they committed a crime. Similar as if someone wasn't guilty. You don't know that. You're not judge, jury, and executioner. You think they are, that's why you charge them. So I did my job, called an ambulance. Now, Major Stacy Heatherly, who was a sergeant at the time, now these are these people that are god-awful people out for your safety. I'm out for your safety, whether you're deemed branded good or bad at the time. She's not. She's a rogue thug, drunken thug. Wore clothes on duty where you could see everything she owned. That's the professionalism of Tennessee Highway Patrol. Praised by Lowell Russell. Yeah, of course, because he praised her, they praise him, they praise each other. That's how it works. That's how they brand themselves good. While you're getting killed, you're getting dead by these thugs. So she went to the hospital. I put a warrant on file like it's supposed to be done. She alleged to me and said to me that I had violated the general order because I released that lady from custody. And that's not true. She lied, trying to get me in trouble for providing for somebody's medical care. Because I did my job, I put a warrant on file for her, notified the dispatcher, notified the hospital that when she was being released to call a trooper to based on the warrant, to arrest her from the hospital and take her to jail. So I did exactly what I was supposed to do. If I'd done what she'd wanted me to do, ignore her medical needs that I'm not supposed to determine, then you the state could have been paying out millions of dollars. But she didn't like me, and she wanted to brand me somebody that didn't do their job. When it's not about whether or not you do your job in the state power, it's about whether or not you kiss the ring, whether or not you tell them that they're doing right, no matter what they do. And even if you're providing for public safety, they'll brand you as somebody that doesn't do their job. That's how crooked they are. That's how them and their entourage are making themselves great while they're murdering you. Knowledge and reckless disregard for the truth falls under the category legally of murder. Look at the fatality rate she presided over and she provided for public safety, according to them, in their own public documents. What a facade, what a lie, what a brand, what a label they've got for themselves while you're falling off into hell, pretty much. Hell lives because of their wickedness. So, Sergeant Stacy Heatherly tried to deter medical treatment for a car wreck victim, telling me I wasn't supposed to let medical personnel take her to the hospital. Well, I did, and I'll do it again. In the incident on Johnsonville Highway, the same incident as the deputies. This is your government, how they don't function for your safety. One tried to deter an arrest in the first place. That was a felony arrest where this lady was drunk off her ass, bad drunk, about hurt somebody, didn't even want to do the wreck, but trying to make sure that I didn't work it appropriately. And then another one trying to deter somebody's medical treatment at a supervisory level. You tell me, then they brand themselves. I just showed you the resolutions. They brand themselves damn good people out for your safety. Don't trust them. So I was supposed to let medical personnel take her to the hospital. In the same instance, deputies tried to stop me making a felony arrest for a drunk driver who had broken someone's arm in the wreck. And Heatherly was connected to that same interference. Sergeant Heatherly and her father have publicly been honored. A badge or a resolution of honor doesn't tell you what happened on the side of the road that night. I was there. I'm telling you what I saw, how these people are. Knowledge of the falsity of what they're doing to you, or a complete reckless, total disregard for the truth. You don't need to become a researcher to protect yourself. Listen to me, I'm telling you, don't trust the government. People in power, don't trust them, they're lying to you. Don't trust the brand. It's a lie, it's a facade. I've seen it up close and personal. I'm a fighter, I'm not afraid to fight these people. If they were so brave and powerful, they wouldn't have to lie, they'd tell the truth. You don't need to become a researcher to protect yourself. Trust your gut. But check it against logic. Does the story actually make sense? Ask if it even matters. Or if it's a distraction from something inconvenient, time to break right then. Sometimes when a public official is doing something really wicked, they'll breaking news, tell you about a casualty or something that they portray as really bad that trumps everything you need to be paying attention to when they're just running cover for their own misdeeds. So when they tell you something, ask if it even matters or if it's a distraction from something inconvenient. Time to break right then. Listen to it. So they got all this stuff packaged, ready in case they call me out. Hello. in case they call me out, as if I'm a rogue crook politician, in case they call me out, I got this stuff packaged, ready to plaster all over the news that's really going to get people's attention. A brand against somebody to cover for me, and nobody will pay attention to what I'm doing. They're real good at this politics. They're not good at protecting you. They don't care. But they're good at protecting their brand. Listen to the people who actually care about you, not the people with a stake in the outcome. Let me do the digging. That's what I do for this show. I'll pull the court record so you don't have to. Though you're always free to check yourself. Watch for the asymmetry. Is the accuser getting the same scrutiny as the accused? And don't be fooled by the props. The flag, a badge, a robe, not proof. That's not proof of anything. The badge, the prop, the ropes are the reason to be more suspicious, not less. You're automatically suspicious of the lone thug on Market Square, who you well know a woman was raped over there, so you're very cautious of that. But police lights and a blue car behind you in Haywood County, you let your guard down. That's the law. All I'm going to get is a ticket. I'm perfectly safe, not raped. I'm not on Market Square by a thuggish dressed slug. It's a man with a badge, and it. Let your guard down. Don't let your guard down because it's the government. That's when you ought to be more suspicious, not less, because they have more power over you. The thug can't make you come to him. The law enforcement officer in Haywood County had the authority given to him by Lionel Russell to stop you and rape you. You had to stop you in violating the law. So I'm just telling you, be more suspicious of people in government power. They don't like me saying that. I like saying it because it protects you. Be suspicious of people in government power. Nothing unconstitutional or unlawful about that. If I'm lying, then let them stand up. They got a huge microphone. They got resolutions. They can resolute themselves honorable and trustworthy. I'll write my own resolution. Right now, resolution, people in government power are not trustworthy. So I wrote my own resolution. People in government power are not trustworthy. So I write a resolution against them. 109 likes. Thank you all. So these people are not trustworthy. They're not honest. They're not good people. And that's what they do. So, more likes and shares and subscribe. Don't be fooled by the props, by the flag, by the badge, or the robe. Be more suspicious. Ask questions. Don't break the law. Trust your gut. If you're being stopped by law enforcement, I like to see this concrete trucks. That means stuff's being built. The economy's getting better. Some labels are true. Costa really was convicted. Holmes really committed fraud. The point is to ignore all labels. It's verified before accepting them. And these are examples of the government brands that you can't trust. Coverage volume helps alleviate the problem. A drop charge correction never travels as far as the original headline. This is a structural critique spanning both parties because the behavior tracks power, not ideology. And here's what Jason Fawcett, Rowan Bible Commentary, says about the verse. Every reported case, every flying rumor of the perpetration of so heinous an offense was to be judicially examined, and if proven, the testimony of competent witnesses. So they brand themselves. The government brands itself as good. The offender was able to be taken without the gates and stoned to death, the witness causing the first stone at him. The object of this special arraignment was partly to deter the witness from making a rash accusation by the proponent part. They had to act as executioner, the prominent part, and party to give a public assurance that the crime had met its due. So people in government power are the only witness to themselves that they're good people. And they have to, even a flying rumor, perpetration had to be judicially examined and the testimony of competent witnesses, more than one witness. And they're branding themselves without witnesses and branding us evil. And they had to, the object of this special arraignment was party to deter the witness from making a rash accusation. Prominent part, they had to act as executioners, partly to give a public assurance the crime had met its due punishment. So they are executing you, branding us from a distance, and lying about us. Hello. Deuteronomy 17:6, and they're branding us without witnesses. At the mouth of two witnesses. So this is how you know you can protect yourself from their branding. Do they have two witnesses, credible witnesses? Two or three. If they don't have credible witnesses, they don't have video tape, and not the commentary that they say about the tape. What do they actually, the video actually show? Not their dialogue of what the video shows. What does it actually show in common sense in the normal course of events happen? Because they go through a lot of loops to get you to a falsehood to where they want you at. So that's how you can avoid the branding and look at the real facts, what's actually in the can. So Deuteronomy 17:6 says this: at the mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of one witnesses shall not be put to death. So, you can't believe their own one witness testimony testifying for themselves. Don't believe these people. The Bible speaks about information that you should believe against people, and that applies for people too. How to do it? How do you know to believe what you're being told? I'll tell you how to believe what you're being told. By credible on the scene at the time. That's somebody on the scene at the time, or what you see yourself. Now you can be on the scene yourself and see what you see, and they'll tell you you didn't see what you saw. They'll gaslight you. I'm telling you. You have to play by a different game, be on a different board, not play by their rules. Let me tell you what it is. You can't trust people in government power. You need to remember that verbatim. They're liars. They lie to you. They cheat, rob, and steal, and murder you and your children. They do. Blatantly, as honestly as I can say. They got a line. Don't cross that line. AI tells me you don't say that. I'll cross the line. I'll tell you the damn truth about stuff. They're dangerous, dirty, violent, pathetic people. The Bible says don't believe them. Don't believe their witness, which is themselves, testifying for themselves, both in branding themselves good and in branding you as evil. Don't believe a word they're saying. Believe two credible witnesses, preferably three, the more, witnesses on the scene. Now, the news doesn't usually have witnesses on the scene. They're on the scene after the fact, or they show a video and tell you what to think about the facts in the video, or add facts that ain't even in the video. So this is how you can unbrand their brand in reality and unbrand yourself and other people that they brand evil. Witnesses on the scene, not the news media, not Channel 10, not Channel 8, not Channel 6, not NBC, CBS. Listen to people you know that are on the scene are credible witnesses. More than one. The Bible says more than one. One's not enough to convict somebody of crime. One's not enough for you to believe what they're saying. It is evidence that that might have happened the way they said it. But 3 is more conclusive that are on the scene. And also, they tell you, if you're on the scene, and I've had this happen, you see something go down, and you know how it went down. And then the news reports it as totally the opposite of the way you've seen it with your own 4 eyes. My 4 eyes, I wear glasses, or your own 2 eyes. Isn't that amazing how they report something that you know is different, and they try to convince you that you didn't see that right? In my own civil procedure class, the lady's dead now, deceased, that taught at Lincoln Memorial Duncan School of Law. She was telling us, it's civil procedure class, but she was telling us about evidence, a particular case in where a friend of hers saw her husband while he was supposed to be at work driving down the road in a car with another woman. His wife seen him. She was driving down the road. He was supposed to be at work. This is my civil procedure. Her friend saw her husband driving down the road with another woman in the car. Saw it with her own eyes. And this is how they try to do you. They try to gaslight you. And she's seen that. He got home and she confronted him. I seen you going down the road, supposed to be at work with another woman. And the civil procedure professor said that her friend told her, he said, this is the standard he's trying to say. She's seen it with her own eyes. She said that he told her, did you touch me? Did you touch me? So he's saying that if you didn't touch me in the car, you can't say I was there. Yeah, you can. She's seen her. You don't have to touch him. So you can believe what you saw. But that's what they try to, all this bull malarkey. She saw her husband in a car with another woman while he was supposed to be at work. She confronted him about it. He denied it. And his reasoning was that she didn't see him. She couldn't prove she saw him because she didn't touch him. No, she seen him. And that's what they try to do. Did you touch me? I didn't have to. I saw exactly what you did. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, the Bible says, that's how you can believe people. Deuteronomy 17:6. It's talking about people put to death, but it's still applicable. So, in order to stop their brand right off the top, don't trust the government. Don't trust the government. Specifically, as in Haywood County, if you're being stopped by law enforcement, you have to stop. You have to stop. Call 911 if you feel threatened. And I can't tell you what to do. You can call them every time you get pulled over if you want to. If you feel the need, because the blue lights, state government might rape you. They did in Haywood County. A Haywood County deputy, almost a year later, is now being charged with rape. Raped a woman on a traffic stop. Legally stopped her, or maybe illegally, and then raped her. So, that's what they're doing. So, the way to prevent that is don't trust the government. Don't let your guard down. Pull over at a well-lit area if it's at night, and or both if you can, a well-populated area so other people could see what's going on. You can call 911, tell them you're being pulled over. Maybe keep them on the phone. Turn your phone on and record the incident. You could go live on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, TikTok, to show what's going on. I'm not saying stick it in their face and incite the situation, but have other eyes looking in on what's going on so maybe somebody can stop it if they do try to rape you. And a deputy sheriff may, it's a systemic problem, stop you and rape you. Now, a lot of police officers are before me saying that. They know how other people do. So call 911 when you're being stopped if you feel led to do that. Tell them you're being stopped where you're at so that somebody else is monitoring you. Pull over at if you can legally, now don't keep going a long way, they'll get in pursuit of you and bust your window out, pull you out, and hurt you and call it legal. But pull over if you can, if it's dark at a well-lit area, and where there's a lot of people at, preferably, even if it's dark, where there's a lot of people at, so other people can see what's going on if they try to rape you. And they did rape the person, the accusation, in Haywood County, and film it. And don't trust the government. Don't trust their resolution. Don't trust their lies. They're branding themselves good while they're evil. That's one brand. And the rape happened in August in 2025. And they're just now charging him in June in Haywood County, the deputy sheriff. So the government is in complete disarray in the state of Tennessee. It is a disaster zone in the state of Tennessee with the government, people in power doing what they're doing to you, stopping you and raping you, and people going to work getting blown off the planet because safety measures are not followed, because money's changing hands. So don't trust the government. In November, get up and get out and vote. I ask you to vote for me. At minimum, we will put public pressure on these people to make it harder for them to murder and rape you and your children. And that's just the truth about what is going on in Tennessee. Our cities and our government has fallen into rogue hands. They have branded themselves good, and they're very good at branding, and they're horrific at public safety. And you need to know this. Protect yourself. So get up and vote. The means to beat these people is vote. Voters of truth and rage. And I'm putting out the truth. Get angry at this stuff and get up and vote. And let's take our government away from these rogue thugs that brand themselves good. At the same time, they're branding you criminals. And track the laws with the people in power. They're writing laws to decriminalize their criminal conduct and their illegal, unlawful behavior that rapes, robs, and murders you, and criminalizing you when you're doing nothing wrong and trying to provide and make a living for your family. Our cities and our state government has completely fallen as corrupt. We are at literal political war with people in power of both parties. Now that's the platform I'm running on. It's called the Platform of Truth. And even if we don't win, we still win because we win public pressure on these people. So if you want to help me get public pressure on these people, like, share, comment, and go vote. Because you could end up dead in the Potomac River, and there's systemic problems that can't be corrected by themselves. So let's look and see if we have any comments. Thank y'all so much for joining. We'll read some of the comments. True, thank you, Eric. If you support Trump, I refuse to vote for you or anyone who supports that pedophile protecting traitor. So you're listening to branding. So he's been branded a convicted felon, so by the government. So maybe the government doesn't like him. So if the government doesn't like somebody, maybe I'll take a second look, and you can refuse whatever. You know, I'm not running for Donald Trump. I'm not. He's not endorsed me. I'm not running for Donald Trump. I'm not. That's not true. So, what's your hat say? Well, maybe it'll say, if you contribute and I get the money, maybe I'll put out hats that say, Charles Van Morgan, stop the cover-up. Vote yellow. Hey, I have one question before I vote. Do you support Trump? I support who's ever in the White House promoting the Constitution of the United States of America. And who's ever in the White House, I hope they do well for the good of the country. If it's Joe Biden, I prayed for him when he was in the White House. So you're asking a question that doesn't fit, asking me to choose a brand. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. Who's ever in the White House is the president. I pray that they do good and pray for them that they make good decisions for the good of the United States of America. Now, that's my position on that. Trump has an endorsement. So I'm not running for Trump. I mean, you know, people can say whatever they want to. Hello. Got a lot of fans. Amen. Yes, he used to be a state trooper, I think. Yeah, he used to be, and I provided for public safety. But the breath of life doesn't always happen. I don't know. Vote red. Well, to me, the safest thing to do is the values of the Republican Party, not the people in the Republican Party, are the sanest values, align more with conservative values than any other. So if you don't vote for me, vote Republican. That's true. I would say that, because I'm not out for myself. I'm out for your public safety and your public good, trying to stop the branding. Now, some Republicans you shouldn't vote for, and some Democrats, if they support Republican values, then vote for them. Mother's womb gives oxygen to a baby. We'll pray for you, HKK. Thank you. Just wondering, are you ex-police officer? I served 18 years in law enforcement. God knows, God does. God's the judge. He knows the evil and the good. They're not fooling God. Jesus Christ is a true living God. Amen. Thank you for saying that. Accept the Lord Jesus Christ in your heart. Ask him to forgive you and accept the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the most important message. Just imagine what they do get away with. That's right. They get away with a lot. Eric E5M8T. Knowledge. Yeah, personal knowledge. Where did you get the breath of life? From God. I rebuke blasphemy. God isn't real. Well, you're a fool. And I'm not saying that. God said that. He said that the fool has said there is no God. So you're a fool. God revealed his character is his glory. The truth shall set us free. That's right. Moses has to know the character of God. I can't. This is pure, unfiltered dogma. Okay. Hey, you're welcome to think anything you want to. And you don't stop me. I'm on a different board. It's all spiritual warfare. It is. God loves to show mercy. We should too. That's true. God has judged you with his own word. Christ says, warn you of your sins. Okay, we'll read a few more. What are to show the grace of Christ's power? Okay, let's see if we got any new comments. Somebody good thing you don't get away with it. The Bible is fiction, clown. Well, the Bible is the only book in the world ever that has proclaimed itself to be the holy, perfect word, inspired by God Almighty, purified 7 times in a furnace of earth, pure and trustable, and I believe that. So I think you're wrong. Will you drain the swamp or build a new one? I will drain the damn swamp and let you build whatever you want to. It's supposed to be your government. When can I vote for you if I live in Blount County? In November, the general election, 2026. The Torah did that, so did the Quran. So you're comparing that to the Bible? I think if you look at scientific research and look into the Bible, you'll find out it's true scientifically and otherwise, and all those other books are fake as hell. I'll be there. Thank you, Keep DS100. I appreciate that. Friends calling friends, putting out the truth, witnesses, beats these bought elections from these fraudulent people who have branded themselves good. Israel first or America first? America first. Obviously, I'm an American, but God bless Israel. And let me give you all a little secret from God's holy word that people don't believe. I believe it, 100%. That's where my faith rests, is pray for your friends. I pray for my friends right now. God help my friends. Because God turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. And God blessed Job when he prayed for his friends. So pray for your friends, not because you'll be blessed, but that's a benefit of praying for your friends. They'll be blessed because you pray for them, and God will help you because you pray for them. So that's just a little secret. That little secret is, pray for the peace of Israel. God's holy word says, I will bless them that bless you, curse them that curse you. Talking about the nation of Israel, the people over there in the country right now in the Middle East. So pray, God bless Israel. Speak highly of the nation of Israel. Speak the truth. Don't call them committing genocide. They're not. And believe in their right to be a nation, be a Zionist. And Do that because it's right, and God will bless you for doing that. That's the truth. 2 little secrets. Your life's going bad, try it. And my life's not going bad. My life's going real good. So many bitter people. Oh man, I was so close to voting for you. Well, if you don't vote for me because I say God bless Israel, then I'd rather have God's blessing than your little pea brain. So that's what I think about you, because I'm not a toy and I'm not playing by your game. I know what I know and I know what's right. And people pressure, a vote's not going to matter to me. I'd rather have God's vote. And trust me, God bless Israel. I'll say it loud and clear. Hate comes from jealousy. Charles, debate me. Wesleyan Gamez. Well, debate anything you want to. I play by my rules. Zionist, neither Jew or Gentile. Zionism is a political ideology that has nothing to do with being Jewish. Okay, this is not that show. This is a show about branding, and all this stuff's not going to matter when you're dead in the Potomac River because the government says we're good. So you're getting off the point. Get on the plane, argue all day long about the nation of Israel while you're on the plane. The problem that you can take care of, I'm telling you about my personal faith and beliefs. The problem that you need to take care of today is question the government. Don't believe their branding. Don't get on the plane and argue about Israel. Question the government's power and don't believe their brand for themselves that's good, and don't believe the brand where they call you evil. So let's read a few more comments. If you want me to read them, then send a donation. So thank you all so very much for joining me. Over 118 likes. Let's get up to 125. Listen to him, he just called y'all pea brains and the votes don't matter. What a dip shit. Yeah, my character matters. Character matters. So I'll say whatever you want to say for votes, right? I mean, that and you want to call me a dipshit? Well, maybe I won't win, but I'll have some pressure on the public and some credibility because I'll tell the right thing. I'm not fake and branded. I'm just telling you that I'm not selling my soul to the devil for votes. And if that's a pea brain, then I'm just a little more powerful than your little pea brain, you idiot. So that's it. It's all taxation legal. Please find Christian Alpha Bible Study to learn the truth of God. Okay, I'll look at that. Christian Alpha Bible Study. I may see that. I may look at that. So we'll join you probably Monday. 120 likes. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. If you look for God, you'll find him. Look for God and you'll find him. So I always try to say, God loves you. I could never love you as much as the Lord Jesus Christ does. Give your heart and soul to him. Ask him to forgive you. Come into your heart. God loves you, and I do too. Until next time, we'll try to be back on here next week. We may have a special show for you next week, trying to go to a court hearing to get permission to show a real live fighter in action in a Tennessee courtroom fighting for all your rights. We're going to try to have that live if they let me in the courtroom. We're going to show somebody suing the state for your rights. If they let us in the courtroom, we'll try to have that next week. Shout out to David Toulis. Shout out to Euro and Travel, that show, a great show on here. Watch that show, a great young man who's going to be the next better than Charlie Kirk, maybe. Euro and Travel, those two young men, and Tom Pippin. Watch that show, great show, been very nice to me. Forming alliances with great people, wonderful people. Thank you. I lose some friends because they are pea brains. That's the word y'all used. And gain more, so that's all right. If you're not on my team, you're not on the right team. And I could care less. I'm out for the truth, not necessarily your vote. And we will get enough votes to put pressure on the government. We're winning this fight. We're winning. Even if we don't win the election, we win, because this is about putting political pressure on people in government power to make it more difficult for them to murder you, to make it more difficult for them to call themselves good when they're not. So thank y'all for joining me. May God bless y'all. Until next time, keep watching, keep subscribing, keep sharing. We'll get the message out. Charlie Kirk, that's right. I would call you to put a little fire, why did you think you were so wise? You are placing yourself in a huge position. Let me read this. You are placing yourself in a huge position of authority over people to control them. I'm not putting to control them. You look at past is a good predictor of future conduct. When I was in the government, the fatality rate was lower. You were more likely to get home. Even your dumb ass could get home safely. And that's what happened when I was in the government. So when I was in power, I used that power for the good. I didn't brand myself as good. I didn't give a damn about their awards. I gave a damn about little children. That's what affected me, seeing little children dead on the side of the road. So you think I'm a toy, get on there and blast out all your garbage all you want to. That doesn't affect me. It's kind of funny, because when you end up in the Potomac River believing the government, you're a stupid fool. Don't trust the government. That's the message. I'm love my president. There you go. There you go. Thank you. This guy is saying Trump is a NAD leader. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's not true at all. I pray for Donald Trump. Pray that he does good. Pray that he does right. Pray that he helps the United States of America. People are not aware of the power of God. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I pray God helps me. And I pray God helps you. And that's where the power lies. God bless President Trump. Amen. God bless him. That's right. Some of y'all are smart people. Thank you all so much. Y'all are wonderful people for the most part. Dude, you woke up like, I'm going to join the same government you're trying to get rid of. That's not true. That's not true. So you're one witness that doesn't even know the facts. That's a dirty, stinking lie. And thank you for your comment. You build the show. All we need to do is peril around you, Charles, if we want to be murdered. Listen to the propaganda all you want to. God will cleanse us of this filth. Yeah, F Trump. Well, you better hope he does well while he's in the office. Thank y'all so much for joining. I love to spread the word. That's a good thing to do. Thank y'all for joining this morning, live from Scotland. Hello, Scotland. Pray for Trump and his government. They need help. They do. Go vote for another grown man to solve your problems. God bless you, Charles, for standing up. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless you all. Thank you all so very much for joining. You can help vote Voters of Truth Enraged. And later on, when we get in power, and you'll be in power, it'll be Voters of Truth Enraged at a moon, and we're putting pressure on the government and demolishing their false brand and making them provide more protection from you, and we damn well win the whole damn thing. Thank y'all so much. Spread this channel, spread the message, and peace and God's love to every one of y'all. Accept the Lord Jesus Christ in your heart and pray about things. God bless y'all. Until next time.